Bushland Coffee Company was founded so the community would have a convenient location to connect with others while enjoying healthy drinks and nutritious snacks. Our mission is to nourish our customers and our community with our culture and our coffee. Our values include joyful service, healthy nutrition, and community fellowship. Come by and get a drink and a snack Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 7 to 6 p.m. Go Falcons! Got Mark Boyette and Coach Reynolds with me today, as usual. So, well, Coach, let's recap a little bit of last week's game. First time we've seen Midland Christian come in. Big team, pretty quick overall, but it was a little back and forth early on, but big plays really made the difference in that game.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. It kind of felt a little bit. We talked about afterwards. It felt like kind of when we played Riverside last year, the neutral site. It's just you're playing an opponent that you really don't know. On a personal level. Most of these other schools we play, our kids kind of know each other, coaches know each other. We don't know them at all. They didn't know us either. So I think the kids were ready to play, and their kids were probably ready to play too. It's just it was weird. Even in pregame, there just wasn't. You know what I mean? It just had a little different vibe to it because you don't know. You're seeing them for the first time out there live, what they look like and everything. And yeah, it was. With that being said, we had a great crowd, great support again, like always at home. That it kind of got us going a little bit. We were kind of sputtered a little bit, early in the game. Offensively, kind of started off, moved the chains, got a quick first down, looking good. And then we had a couple of negative plays. We took negative yardage on some things, dropped the ball. We dropped several balls early. It kind of hurt us a little bit. Defensively, we gave up that first touchdown drive. They just kind of drove it right down the field on us. We had chances to make some plays, didn't make some tackles. But that was the good thing about it, that we learned about our team is, they scored first. Everything was going their way early, but, that was a few plays out of a lot of plays in the game. It's a 4-quarter game. There's closer to 200 plays in the game. You don't stop after the first 20 and, declare a winner. Yeah. So our kids just kept going, figured out a way. Coaches did a good job, stayed settled down and just started executing, made some big plays on offense. A couple of big ones I thought, on the fake punt. And then we gave Ty the option and we got that first down. Yeah. That was big. Got a little momentum going. I think we scored on that drive after that. Had a big run by Quaid. Ty, obviously, Purcell had the screen that he took, wiggled around everywhere.
105 yards.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
70
it might have been more than that. 70 on the books, but what a great play that was.
Huh? Yeah, and, the thing about that play is, we'd rather not reverse it across the field like that. But you have to allow your playmakers to be playmakers sometimes, as long as they don't make it a habit of getting out of what you kind of want them to do. But obviously, Ty made a great play, and there were some great blocks on that as well. Yeah. Back in the day, it's really easy to come back and peel back on somebody and clean their clock. We had the opportunity to do that. I know Jenner King had the chance to do that. And he looked like he started to, and he remembered, like, I can't do that.
He just
anymore.
let it happen, right?
And he just kind of stopped, kind of just put his hands up, kind of just barely nicked the guy with the shoulder. That guy kind of flopped on a little bit on that, which is smart on his part.
Sure.
And then, Ty just kind of did the rest. We had some good blocking downfield. I think he even did an unbelievable job at one point that 20, I don't know if it was 22, I think was down there with him. He kind of just grabbed him and pulled him by, and then went and scored. So that was a great play. Then the first offensive play right after half, when we were in the little pin and pull down there, and everybody blocked it well. He hit the sidelines, and I mean those were big plays.
Yeah, 83 yards on that rate, 87 yards, something like that on that. I can't remember exactly what that was.
You'll take them any way you can get them, whether you're just driving down the field, and that's what our defense did well last week. Is they did a good job offensively in their scheme. They were big up front. They just kind of lean on you, just get a body on a body and let their little running back wiggle around and get yards. They had some RPO stuff, some screens, and they were a solid offense that moved the ball on us. But the encouraging thing was we got down inside the 20 and we kind of buckled down a little bit, and defense held them out. Got a big turnover, Aiden Hall with an interception. So, overall, we're always happy to get the win. We have got to be better tonight. You always want to play great from start to finish, but you just got to find a way to win.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, speaking of tonight, we already saw the extra stands brought in already because of the expected crowd that's going to be out there. What are you expecting tonight from this West Plains, from the West Plains team? And then just what are you expecting really just from the atmosphere tonight? Because I think it's going to be electric tonight with all the people, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, similar to last year, as far as there's going to be probably not a place to sit, in the whole stadium. We did bring some extra bleachers in. Our visitor side is not really, our home side is probably not big enough either. We've talked about that, but our visitor side, especially for a 4A Division I school, that has that much support, it's not nearly big enough. So we got some plans where we're going to put their band and chairs on the track on their side. The bleachers are for the students, their student section, which hopefully opens up 200 or 300 extra seats on that visitor side. And of course, you're going to have people standing around the fence like always. So do the best we can and try to accommodate. Bottom line, there'll be a place to see, stand, sit, wherever you want to watch the football game. So I expect that to be a lot of fun for our kids. And that's the thing about it. The kids on both teams, they've earned this. They've earned that atmosphere. You don't get that most of the time if you're not doing things right. You're not playing well. You're not playing in a way that represents your community right, because they enjoy watching you play. So I think both groups of kids have earned this right and this privilege to play in this atmosphere. As far as the game itself, they're a great team like they were last year. They graduated some good seniors like we did, but they have the same philosophy. It's next man up, next year up, and time to plug new guys in and go. They had kind of a tough go at it week one at Seminole. First of all, Seminole's a good football team, really good. But I think that West Plains, in the films we've seen, they've grown and matured the last 2 weeks, and they're going to get nothing but better because they're plugging new guys in too. And some of those guys played last year, maybe not as much as they are now in the roles that they're in, but they're just going to get better each week, and they are. And they're going to want to come to our place and win this game, just as much as we want to beat them.
Well, I know like the last 2 years we have come away with the W. And last year we were their only loss until they got to the playoffs. So I know I shared this story with you, but I'm going to share it with everybody else. Last Wednesday, our family, we went to Canes after church, and I'm talking, it's the busiest I've ever seen that place. All right. And it's busy, but this place was rocking, and there's all these West Plains people that just got off their homecoming parade, and they were all in there, and there was some big old boys there. I thought, oh my goodness. Like these guys, not that I'm not very tall, but these guys were 6'3", 6'4", had to have been, and bulky. So we got some size coming in tonight. That's the point I'm coming across is we've got some size coming in tonight from that team. How big are they across the front line?
Yeah, their tackles, probably the ones you're talking about most. Their tackles, offensive tackles, are really big. I think one of them's 6'4", the other one's probably 6'5", 6'6", and big bodies that can go. And they just like to get on you and lean and try to move you. So, that's always a challenge when you face. We have some big kids too. We don't have maybe quite that big, but there's different ways you try to attack that, and you try to do some different things and give them some different looks, and you try to beat them with speed. And things like that. So, like I said, they have a good team, really good team. And, while we're out talking about their offense, obviously those tackles you talked about, I think it all still, revolves around the quarterback, Reed Macon. he's been a starter since his freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
so he's a 2-year plus starter at this point. Has a lot of experience, throws a good ball, is accurate, and can hurt you with his feet. He's a good runner. So, we got our hands full. They have some good slot receivers, a good wideout out there that has really good ball skills, great route runner. So, we'll have our hands full with those guys defensively. They have some of those guys. They play some different guys up front, rotate them in, rotate them through, have some size there as well. Athletic in the secondary, and then some new linebackers that are pretty athletic and will come downhill and hit you in the box. So just excited for it. That's what you right now. You're trying to see what your team's about. And we got a pretty good idea at this point. We've played 3 games. We've played some good teams. I know where we're about, but you want to continue to get tested to see, to learn, to make you better for the ultimate, and the ultimate is the district championship and a deep playoff run. And by deep, our goal is to get all the way to play Cowboy Stadium. So we want to get tested. We want to find out, where we're at, what we need to do. You want to do that and still get a win. That's the whole thing about it. We're playing to win. But, I'm just excited for this game, kind of measuring stick to see where we're at.
Look at our schedule. We've got a pretty tough preseason schedule.
Yes.
With some pretty big teams, all bigger than we are for the
Right.
most part. How does West Plains compare to Midland Christian from a size perspective? Because they had some pretty good size as well.
Yeah. Overall, I think pretty similar. Midland Christian had kind of the same thing. They had 1 or 2 that were a little bit bigger.
Mm.
I think 71, I think was the number last week. They had some big kids. So up front it's going to be their West Plains tackles are bigger probably than the guys that Midland Christian had. Then it kind of balances back out a little bit, but they have some size up front, for sure. And like I said, we saw Canadian had some big kids up front too.
Yeah.
Midland Christian had some big kids, and obviously we're going to see the same thing this week. Dumas is going to have some big kids, so it's good for us to see that. You want to, as a coach, you want to kind of see everything.
Early.
Just early, but that way when it really counts in district and playoffs, we've already seen. We've seen these big dudes. We've seen these fast linebackers. We've seen the secondary that's really athletic or whatever it is. So you just want to be tested as much as possible.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about, we had games last night. How did last night turn out for undervarsity?
So junior highs were off, but our B team, our combined B team played.
Okay.
We have enough this year for 2 B teams, really. The problem is pretty much everybody we play does not, which, is not good for us. I hate that we can't split up and have a 7th grade B and an 8th grade B, because we have the numbers to do that. I think Shallow Water, we're going to be able to do that. I think they have 2. I thought Perryton was going to, but they didn't. They just had to combine. So at least we're getting some games in for those guys. They played a combined game last week in Perryton, and last night we got them a game, our combined B team, against Wellington's 7th grade. And it was just great for our kids to get out there. We got to play. A lot of times you play those B games a little bit shorter time because you end up having 3 or 4 games in one night. You're going to be there till midnight, and that's just the way, everybody's always kind of done it. We got to play them a regular 7-minute quarters last night, stopping the clock like a regular game. So really glad to get those guys some focus in their own game in, regular game, a lot of plays. And, that's what I told them afterwards. I said, guys, the thing about junior high, B team, A team, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care if you play before that. I don't care if you play Kids Inc., TTYFL, whatever, all that stuff. Okay, I don't care. It's about development once we get you. Development. Yeah, we want y'all to win still. You always, everything you do, you try to be the best. But the overall big picture of that is we're trying to develop those guys. Too often at junior high level, you have some, and you see it. You guys have been there. You'll have one kid that's fully grown already, and another kid that hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
So
true.
there's so many, variables in junior high that make it, an uneven playing field at times. And they're not giving, I told them last night, they're not giving state championships out in junior high football. They're not giving this. They're not playoffs. We want you to develop and just stick with the process, because you're going to grow, you're going to mature, you're going to get better. If you just stay at it through the years, those things are going to happen for you. So just keep at it. So it was great to get those guys a lot of reps last night. Freshman went over to West Plains and got a win. I'm not sure. I can't remember the score, 32-6 maybe. Great job for those guys. I'm so proud of the freshmen. They're just doing so good. The JV went over and ended up losing the game. I know it was close till 7 minutes left. It's a one possession game. Then they ended up scoring, I think, late and extending the lead a little bit. But again, we're playing good quality teams. We're playing teams that are going to have they're in that enrollment, the numbers,
And they have a whole lot more people on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You're not using that as an excuse one bit, because Canadian did the same thing against us. You just go step out and play, and you allow it to make you better. You don't use that as an excuse, and I won't let the kids use that or the coaches or anything. Yeah, that's the reality of it. But we're still going to win, and we're still going to play hard, and we're trying to get better at the things that we can control, because it makes our JV better when it comes district. And again, still don't give district championships out, trophies to JV freshmen. Yeah. But it starts when you get to high school. So that stuff becomes a little bit more serious as far as the wins, and it's gonna make us better in the long run.
Absolutely. All right. Well, tonight's game, 7:00. We're here in Bushland, and West Plains is coming to town. So let me tell you something. It is going to be packed. It is. Oh, yeah. If it's anything like last year, which I think it's definitely going to be that and more, it is going to be loaded full of people. So get there early. You also have a volleyball game today at 3.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. I got told that yesterday. I was like, okay, so it's going to be a busy day of broadcasting for us. You know what I mean? But a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. But I'm going to go home and take a nap. And then, no, I'm just joking. We got work to do, Chris. We got to get stuff going. All right. But listen, if you come out to the game, if you're anywhere, this is the game. I've been telling people all week long, you don't want to miss this, because the atmosphere is electric. There's so many people that are going to be there. Like you said, our kids. This is what they play for, right? And you get that big. It is just going to be so much fun out there tonight. And so I just tell you, come out to the game. If not, we'll go live around 6:30 with the pregame show. And then we'll get ready to kick the ball off at 7:00. And we can't wait for that. But closing remarks here. Our Dallas Cowboys did terrible last week, like they always do. And they play the Baltimore Ravens this week, who are 0-2 on the season. And I actually have the Cowboys winning this week, which is stupid of me. But Coach, can you do some helping? Can I call Jerry and just say, Jerry, I got a coach here that could really help this team out, because we were terrible last week.
Yeah, I watched some of it, off and on a little bit, and
just turned it off.
Yeah, it was
bad football.
It was bad. The only positive that came out of it is I had Alvin Kamara on my fantasy.
Come on, somebody, me too.
So that didn't hurt me a whole lot. But that's the thing I hate about fantasy is I'm always going to root for the Cowboys no matter what. But I figured out I want to root for a high-scoring game with the Cowboys winning, but Kamara getting a lot of points. So, they didn't, maybe the Saints are a lot better than what everybody thinks. Cowboys, they look like they maybe been patting themselves on the back all week after winning at Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they just didn't look ready to go. Then didn't play very well.
Go back to college football real quick. Couple of Texas teams have a bit of a quarterback controversy going on. Quinn gets hurt for Texas, and Manning comes in and has a great game. On the flip side, Reed gets the start at A&M, and Wegman stays out. Looks like Reed's going to get another start this week, and I think they've already named Manning as a starter for this week. That's a pretty interesting because both quarterbacks coming in highly touted. Quinn actually having a good year, Wegman not having a great year start. But, man, as a coach, you have to put the best on the field, but sometimes that's not the most popular decision to do.
Oh, no, especially at that position.
Yeah.
Quarterback position, it's one spot. Linemen, there's 5 spots, and you generally rotate a couple of guys, extra guys in there. Receivers, you have generally 4 out there, and you rotate. So at that spot, but to me, the Texas deal, it's a no-brainer. It's still Quinn Ewers. He's just a little banged up. Obviously, they have Manning's a really, really good backup to have, but I think if Ewers had not been playing well, you could start maybe talking about some things. But I think Ewers playing as good as he is, that's a no-brainer on that one. I think that at A&M, that's kind of that other situation where
the other hasn't been.
The other hasn't. Yeah, they played terrible. He played terrible. The offense did against Notre Dame. I don't remember who they played the second game, but it probably wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. So you got to do, what you got to do. It's best for the team. And, the few plays that I saw, the A&M Florida game, what's his name?
Reed.
Yeah, he did a good job. They're playing well with him. And you got to be careful. Sometimes the most popular guy on campus is the backup quarterback, or the assistant coach or what, the next guy up. Right. As soon as things go bad, everybody wants to point the finger somewhere. Right? There's got to be somebody to blame. So usually, and I saw it, when I was in college too. But it's easy to do that. And again, in A&M's situation, it's hard not to. In the Texas deal, they're both playing good. They're blessed with 2 great quarterbacks that could probably start for about anybody in the nation. And that's kind of the cool thing to me about Manning is, in today's world where it's so easy to gripe, complain, transfer, hit the transfer portal, make a big deal out of it. He's taking the high road, and understands that his time's coming. And we tell our kids this all the time too. You're one snap away. You're one play away from being the guy at any position. You may be on the bench all first 2-3 games and one snap. All right, it's your turn. This is what you've been preparing for. So the fact that Manning has just done that, as far as I know, pretty classy. Just supported Quinn and all that. I think it's says a lot about him because he could easily be making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Who knew a Manning could move like he does, though?
Oh, well, he was trucking, wasn't he?
I'm like, Peyton, Eli, y'all didn't move like that when y'all played. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, he's got some wheels on him.
He does. And you see things I saw something on social media, and it had him running, and it was clocking the miles per hour he was running. And he was like at 22. And they were saying Tyreek Hill last week, his fastest was. Don't start comparing him.
There's no way.
Come on. Yeah, he may be faster than most of the other Mannings, but let's get real. He's not. Don't start comparing him to Tyreek Hill's speed.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, it was definitely fun to watch him, and I agree. I think it helps when you've had 2 uncles and a granddad that's played at that level to give you that advice.
Absolutely.
Right, and to say wait for it. So it makes a difference. Well, as Mark said, 6:30, we'll go live. You want to be there tonight. You want to be there. Gates open at...
I think gates open at 6.
At 6. I was watching on the community page. People were asking when to be there, and somebody said, I'm in line now. But I thought that was funny. But, yeah, so you definitely want to be there early and get you a good seat. Otherwise, you're going to be on the fence. But even if you're on the fence, you're going to see a great ball game tonight for sure. But if you can't make it or if you're out of town, tune in to us. We'll go live at 6:30 with a little pregame talk, and then we'll have kickoff at 7 o'clock. So, Coach, good luck tonight, you and your team, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thanks. We're looking forward to a fun night.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, and Bushland Falcon Media, where every game comes to life. Bushland Coffee Company was founded so the community would have a convenient location to connect with others while enjoying healthy drinks and nutritious snacks. Our mission is to nourish our customers and our community with our culture and our coffee. Our values include joyful service, healthy nutrition, and community fellowship. Come by and get a drink and a snack Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 7 to 6 p.m. Go Falcons!